Hey, what is going on YouTube? This is Robert, and today I'm bringing to a very different video, which is still centered about Supreme or around Supreme. However, we've got some news that has come out, which is the fact that Supreme is going to be acquired by a new company. Not really what I expected, to be honest, that Supreme was going to be sold yet again. I think after seeing some of the prior reports that have been coming out from VF Corp, it might have made sense to some people that they're almost trying to shift it and just cut their losses. But at the same time, after 4 years or just shy of that, I was not expecting to see that today. So let's jump into that and talk about that. And as always, let me know down below what your thoughts and opinions are, because not really the company that I would have thought would have acquired them. But anyway, let's get into all of it. So the company that's acquired Supreme is going to be EssilorLuxottica. Anyway, an Italian-French company that is basically an eyewear brand at the end of the day. They do oversee and obviously own, as you can see here, Ray-Ban, Oakley, the Sunglass Hut, and many other places with as of 2020, 150,000 employees, possibly more by this point, you never know. But yeah, a eyewear company at the end of the day is what it's going to come down to. Now, you can see all of the numbers here, which is obviously putting out the number of 1.5 billion. Now obviously this is a big dip because of the fact that Supreme was acquired in 2020 for 2.1 billion by the VF Corp. Not the best. Now obviously the fairy tale side to things, VF Corp acquiring them, having their Cinderella story with the Timberland and the North Face and the Vans collabs and everything, didn't really work, and the shoe did not fit, unfortunately, and that has led to another company to acquire Supreme, another brand to acquire them. And yeah, let's just jump into it and talk about everything in relation to it. This will now mark the third company or corporation to now own Supreme within the last decade, changing from hand to hand, so to hand again, I suppose. Now one of the things that I thought was quite interesting is the fact that as soon as they've acquired them, currently, they are down 4.2% in terms of their stocks shares. At the time, 2 hours ago, it was only 2.5%. So I don't know whether or not this is because the people who might invest are happy, or in this case, evidently not. Now you can go through the many articles, whether it's Hypebeast, whether it's Bloomberg, whether it's High Society, or any other place that sort of covered this news, and you can see probably or near enough the same sort of story, which is the side that VF Corp acquired them, and now they're getting rid of them. Now the one thing for me that didn't really add up in relation to this is the fact that obviously Supreme and things like Vans, North Face, and some other collaborations are very highly sought after and like sort of staples with Supreme, and having VF Corp take over kind of made sense in that way. It's the company, it's the parent company. It might make sense, but instead they just aren't doing that. I've just gone rid of their ad because it was in the way. Now here you can see that Bracken Darrell, the President and Chief Executive Officer of VF Corp, basically has been trying to bring down their debt levels, and as you can see, telling investors that everything is on the table, there are no sacred cows. Now it's kind of crazy that they're going to be doing that and taking an overall 600 million loss from their original investment in Supreme. The thing that I saw was that they had fell short of projections several times throughout the last 4 years. This is because they set things like, they say for instance are wanting to earn 1 billion in a season. It's a stupid number, but you can understand. And then they only get like 400 million. So they fall short of that. And then they do that again and again and again. And I'm guessing it just didn't really work for them. So in the end, they're just going to let it go and get rid of Supreme as an overall. What will it mean for the brand? I don't know. Obviously, they put out a statement themselves, seeing it as an incredible opportunity to bring such a brand like Supreme into their company. And obviously, they're very optimistic with everything. So as far as that goes, it's great that a company is actually looking forward to acquiring Supreme and wanting it. Maybe they'll bring it in a different direction, and maybe they'll help sort of bring back how it is. Obviously, even James, which I don't think we ever really see comments from him, said that they have a unique partner that understands that we are at our best when we stay true to the brand and continue to operate and grow as we have for the past 30 years. This move lets us focus on the brand, our products, and our customers while setting us up for long-term success. Did he even comment when VF Corp acquired? I don't know. I haven't seen honestly any comments in a minute So in terms of going to everyone else, which of course you can't read on Bloomberg, can you? But yeah, I've never really seen this. Now obviously Hypebeast are going to do a longer in-depth, and they're going to include the same quote about James. But yeah, I don't know. Seeing it as an incredible opportunity to take Supreme in. Supreme, or James specifically, is happy with it. The deal is expected to close by the end of this year. Supreme is expanding to key markets including China and South Korea, which is true. They have opened a lot, and I mean a lot, of stores at the end of the day. If both people and both sides are happy, if James is happy, if the company are happy purchasing it, I don't really see it as a problem. It was just a sort of out of left wing that, you know, a eyewear company or optical industry sort of company who might be at the global front for their area of expertise for acquiring Supreme. That just came as a bit of a surprise. But yeah, I think overall the issue that's occurred in general is the fact that VF Corp need money. They fell short of the expectations, but here's the thing. If you're going to increase stock, if you're going to really not do a great job with a lot of designs, let's say 90% of the pieces, not really having a lot of thought and effort towards them, and you're not really going to change a lot of the other things, you're not going to stick to sort of what the brand was and what it should be, you're going to fall short of those projections. You can't expect to be like, oh, we're going to sell 500 million each season, make at least 150 say profit, and it's going to be good times. You can't just set those sort of parameters out. It's not going to be one of those things. Obviously in the past, the eyewear brand has also, as you can see, collaborated with Ralph Lauren, Burberry, Prada, Miu Miu, I've butchered that, and Chanel, just to name a few. So on the side of that, those do align with the kind of side of what Supreme would probably be looking towards. Obviously Burberry has already been one, Ralph Lauren has been for Palace, so it's sort of been dipped in, the toes have been dipped in for that side. I just don't know about Prada or Chanel, you know, that's almost going to the Louis Vuitton era and height of things. We will just have to wait and see, I suppose, at the end of the day. But yeah, I don't know. It's really random to wake up and just see that, honestly. To see all of the things and everything about it, and you see all of the articles coming out about it now. So looking at the financial, obviously, side, because they will talk about that and speak about that and go a bit more in depth in the end. So their shares have fallen 4% as of it. Not the greatest, but they're still up 8.5% over the last 12 months, which is probably, you know, that's fine. They then include all of the quotes and everything that is obviously in relation to it and speaking about it. And as you can see, they weren't actually looking into expanding into apparel. However, acquiring Supreme is a great opportunity for them to tap into that exclusive community. They said the deal was a no-brainer and had happened very quickly because VF were under pressure to divest its most iconic asset. Damn, they're looking to expand to new fans in China, Japan and South Korea to target new consumers. Now backing this, I'll be honest, is a bit more money in terms of the company themselves. As you can see, there was a merger for 50 billion in 2017. So being the world's largest eyewear manufacturer, that definitely ramps things up, I suppose, in the end. And the fact that they've been included with Meta too. So, the person close to the deal said it planned to expand Supreme's eyewear line, including through the launch of Supreme Meta smart glasses to build on the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. That'd be quite cool. I'm not going to lie. If it's the correct price, because I know the Ray-Ban ones aren't horrendous, that'd be good, yeah. Separately, they also said they're buying an 80% stake in an engineering company. They're really going in, aren't they? Wow. Now, as you can see, one of the largest reasons as to why VF have done this is because of the fact that their shares have fallen about 25% over the last year, facing pressure and to cut costs away from things. So that is the reason why VF have been looking to ditch it and why there have been so many articles and comments over the last year about it, because it has been mentioned a substantial amount of time in the end, the fact that they are looking to drop Supreme purely because of financial issues and financial strain in the end, which obviously, yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. I mean, it's about near enough the amount that they have lost from their investment, so it makes about sense, makes like the right sense in the end. Now, obviously, firstly, looking at it, this sort of, you know, was a bit of a worry, I'm not going to lie, but having gone through things for the past like 35 minutes and reading through everything, I'm kind of more happy than when Supreme was acquired by VF Corp and cut away from Carlisle, purely because of the fact that they seem happy and wanting to really put time and effort into expanding different areas of Supreme that have never been looked upon. I know that a lot of people said because of this, they're interested to see what eyewear comes out as a result, what glasses or sunglasses come out, and they speak about that. They speak about what they want to happen in the end and what they want to release. So with that, I think it's a good thing. Now, whether or not they will follow James's sort of route of the whole, smaller stock and everything, because it is about the quantity being reduced and the quality still being there. It's about, keeping that scarcity, the original values that sort of went across the board. Whereas if they make 30, they make 30. They don't, print 30 and make 30 and then be like, oh, we're just going to do another 5 or 10 on top. Once it's done, it's done. So I'd be interested to see if they're going to stick to those sort of and go back to those values of that. But yeah, the Financial Times will give you the full rundown of everything, speaking about all of the information and where the company started and where they came from. So yeah, whoever did this article, Sylvia, thank you for doing so. And Ivan in London, thank you for doing so. This is helpful to gain a bit more knowledge and insight into what's going on. But as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I'd be surprised to see what people's thoughts are with this. I really would. As far as I can see, it's basically the fact that VF have lost too much money, too much of their shares have dropped overall. They need just to cut it, gone. They're bleeding, it needs to happen. Even though this has caused a small dip in the stock and the shares of the brand, not a great start. Hopefully that will rise because people will see it as a positive in the end. But yeah, like I said, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. And yeah, other than that, I do hope that you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Peace.